Alright, so I think this microphone actually works better than it's just freaking headphones. Wired headphones, to be exact. Obviously, this second time around, This podcast here is not going to have as much effect, as much as emotional impact as it did the first time around. But it turned out that my previous... Let me just plug this in. Turned out that my previous microphone that I was using for the longest of time, at least for mobile recordings, not really mobile, but like if I didn't want to really sit in front of the desk and hook up the big boy, I could have just used a little mic. But anyways, that's more than besides the point. Let's get on to today's topic. It's La Selección Nacional de México es un desastre. We've heard that many times before, but now it's more relevant than ever. Mexico, at least the national soccer team, I'm not talking about the actual country itself here. I won't get into politics. I decided I'm going to keep my channel clean from politics as much as I can, right? Mexico has never been actually, they have been favorites to win the World Cup, and that was back in 2006, but I think that was the only time. And obviously when they're hosts, because every country's a favorite to win the World Cup when they're hosts. But regardless, they've never been how do I say this in English? I don't know. I'll see if I can translate it for you guys into English once I get into editing the podcast, and I'll throw in subtitles for the viewers. It's never been a potencia mundial. Basically, nobody's ever seen them as a real threat, at least on the international side, at the professional level. Yeah, I will agree that Mexico has been one of the top countries in youth soccer, at least. Let's say the under 23 side, under 17, both have won international tournaments, and I believe the under 20 side as well. So yeah, in those lesser categories, we're definitely we were a beast. But since the Liga MX, aka the Federation of Mexican Soccer, since they've got rid of the relegation system, it's all gone to pot. It's the white boys here in America say it's all gone to pot. What does that mean? Well, if you take a look at all the other leagues in the world, at least the top tier leagues, they all have some sort of relegation system. Mexico, when they did have the relegation system, it was one of the worst, but we had one regardless. They would take your average of points or whatever within 3 short tournaments or something like that, or every 3 years, and then someone would drop in the champion with it was such a weird process. But hey, we had a relegation system. Now we don't even have that. You know what the last team... Jeez, dude, I can't speak. The last place team gets? Hey, man, you got to pay a $2 million fine for this season. Oh, okay, no worries, here you go. Not just that, dude. Back then, we had the top 8 qualify for the playoffs, which is still a lot considering there's only 17 teams in the entire league. 17 or 18, I forget. I think it's 18. Let's just say it's 18, right? I think it's 18. Yeah, 18. Since we only had 18 teams in the league. But hey, people still fought, man, to get into those 8 spots. It's gotten a little bit better since 2020. 2020, that all went away. They got rid of the 8 spots and extended it to 12. So what does that mean? 12th placed person in the league can win the whole championship. At least with the 8 spots it originally had. Worst case scenario, the underdog, the guy who barely qualified for the finals, right, can win the league. It takes a lot of competition, you know? What's the word for it? It takes a lot of the competitiveness I don't know if that's a word, but I'm going to use it. It takes a lot of the competitiveness away from the actual sport. Because let's say you could probably qualify, dude, by tying 6 of your games and then winning maybe 5. I don't know. I'm not doing the math. I'm not going to do the. I don't do the math. I'm not going to do the math right now. But that's how bad it is. Yeah, you can slack off the first half of the season. Experiment with players. I'll throw in the B squad, whatever, right? And then you can still qualify. No, dude, that's not what it's about. That shouldn't be. That's not what it should be about. At least when we had the 8 top teams qualify. Yeah, you could slack off the first 3 games. But if by the 5th or 6th game of the season, you weren't in a spot, in a top 8 spot, it's going to be a tough battle, man. It's going to be a tough race for the finals. It meant you had to pick up the pace or kick your current manager out, put someone new in. It just felt like they cared more about the sport back then than they do now. Now it just feels like they're just in it for the money. Easy, quick cash grab. And you know whose fault it is? Unfortunately, it's us, the fans' fault. Because we keep watching the damn league. For years, dude. People was like, you guys got to stop watching the Mexican league. You got to hit them where it hurts most. Money. Mexico's like that. Money. You stop watching, viewership goes down. What does that mean? Less viewership, less sponsors, less money. We have to force the changes because they're not going to change nothing. It's a disaster. I know I'm all over the place with this podcast, but that's just my brain. That's how it works. I can understand myself. Some of you may understand me, some of you may not. But it's a disaster, man. The national team's a disaster. Players don't go to play for the shirt anymore. They go play for the money. Good example. Not Carlos Vela. Because Carlos was always like, yeah. He was always straight up just honest about it. He's like, yeah, man, I don't talk to me about the sport after we finish playing. Because I see this as a job, not as a... I guess a dream, He's just like, yeah, this is just my job and that's it. It's like, yeah, I like playing, but it's don't talk to me about soccer once we're done playing. But he was at least honest about it. The other guys, they're like, yeah, I love the sport. Yeah, I'm gonna go play for the MLS side because it's one of the best paid leagues in the world. Prime example. Irving El Chucky Lozano. Killed it, man. Killed it when he got sold to PSV. First couple seasons there, absolutely destroyed. Demolished. What's it called? Dominated the whole first couple seasons when he was with PSV. He got sold to Napoli. Okay, it's normal. He's going to drop form. It's Italian football. It's a whole different style of play, right? He never really did anything, as crazy as he was in the Dutchland, as he was playing with the Dutch. Yeah, I think he won a couple titles with Napoli as well, but it wasn't his best, performance when he was over there. But hey, we still had a good player in Europe. He scores that 2018 goal against Germany in the World Cup back in 2018 Russia. And then all is good. We beat Germany, world champions. We think it's good, right? I'm going back to where the downfall I feel started. We, if I'm not mistaken, we beat South Korea 2-1. Heung-min Son makes a banger on Ochoa. Not a problem. We're already up 2-0. Right, let's just finish out the game. 2-1, boom, done. Sweden. Now, these Nordic son of a guns, they're huge, right? But so were the Germans. The Germans are considered the top tier, the best of the best. I lost my flash drive. Oh no. Anyways, they're considered the best of the best of the best. But we beat Germany, so we're confident that we're going to do the same against Sweden. Nope, we get demolished 3-0. So we're like, you know what? That's fine. We still made it past the group stage. It was a tough group stage. We had Germany, Sweden, South Korea. It was the group of death, right, for Russia, for the Russian World Cup. We make it to the same old round of 16 against same old in the round of 16 against Brazil. We lose 2-0. We were expecting it. We lost good. Brazil played well. We played okay. We gave it our best shot basically. But we lost, and it's like, oh well. We'll be back in 4 years. 2 years later, the pandemic hits. I don't know what happened with the mentality of the Mexicans. But obviously, all around the world, teams dropped in level. The teams dropped in quality. And that's normal. It's expected. It's a pandemic. People didn't play for like not a year. Was it a year? I don't remember. Yeah, I don't think Mexico played for like a whole year, any friendlies or anything. I really can't remember what it was, how long it was. It's been 4 years, dude. But regardless, we didn't play for a while, so it's normal that form's going to drop. Oh, I didn't mention we won the Copa Oro in 2019 with a mixed squad of A and B players. Got a new manager, Tata Martino. Everything was, golden with him when he first started. We beat USA in the final. All is good, man. Nations League come. I think Nation Leagues. Oh my God, I can't speak. Empieza la Liga de Naciones, right? All is good. We make it to the final. And unfortunately, we lose against the US 3-2. It was a heck of a game. But, hey, we can't win them all. So, whatever, dude. We played good. We just made some mistakes, but we played good. I'm happy with the results. For our first ever tournament, cool. Somebody else won it for once, and it was the US. 2 Nation Leagues Cups later. We still can't beat these guys. What has the US been doing? And I think they've done it pretty dang well. They've been developing younger players, sending them to Europe for cheap. For damn cheap. What has Mexico been doing? The complete opposite. They get young players. What's the team say? Hey man, I think it'd be more... We'd save a lot more money if we just keep them here. And that's exactly what happens. Those players don't go to Europe. Or, like Luis Chavez. No disrespect against him. This dude's a heck of a player. But I do believe he's closing in on 30. I do believe he's closing in on 30, and he's gone to Europe. He's in Russia, which obviously is not the greatest country to be playing soccer right now. But hey, he's in Europe at least, right? We got Machín Álvarez in West Ham, Santi in Feyenoord, right? And I think that's it. That's it. So why has Mexico stopped sending young players to play in Europe for cheap? It almost feels like the players themselves don't want to leave, They don't have that hunger that Mexico once had. Instead of getting better how the US is doing, we're taking 2 steps back. 1 step forward, 2 steps back, like the country song, right? No, but Mexico's not even making a step forward. They're just standing still, and then every now and then it's like, yeah, let me back up a bit. It's not looking good. The World Cup's 2 years away. Mexico's hosts. Mexico, along with the US, Canada, they're hosting. The refs obviously always favor the host side, right? But we shouldn't have to be counting on the refs to help us out. Never. That's not what the sport should be about. Copa America's around the corner as of I'm making this podcast. It's looking horrible. Like I said, 4-0 against Uruguay. Tomorrow's the Brazil game, which I'm hoping Brazil just completely dominates Mexico. I hope people stop going to the stadiums. Like I said, we gotta hit them where it hurts the most. Money. Stop watching Mexican soccer games. Dejen de ver los partidos. No vayan al estadio. Y ya no sigan a la selección. Stop supporting them. Hay que darles donde les duele más, el dinero. In the wallets. Si no hacemos eso, nunca va a haber cambios. Muchachos. There's never going to be changes. What would be great to see is relegation system restored. Start exporting players. What else? And bring back the Copa MX, man. Start participating in CONMEBOL activities. Go back to Copa Libertadores. Yeah, I know we didn't have the best time last time the Mexican side was there, which was, I think, more than 10 years ago now. But it's to improve your football. Look, I mean, take a good example against the game we had against Bolivia. Bolivia, it's not the greatest side. I don't think they've ever gone to a World Cup, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I'll pull up the stats and I'll put it on the screen. I know you guys are getting tired of the popping sounds from the microphone, but I don't have a pop filter on this one. You're just going to have to deal with it. Got to get these thoughts out right now since they're fresh out of the oven. But I lost my train of thought. Yeah, Bolivia has never been the greatest side. And we barely beat them 1-0. And here's why. Not only did we send our under 23 side, but that shouldn't matter. Bolivia is used to playing with Argentina, Colombia, Brazil, Uruguay, Ecuador, pure heavy hitters. So for Mexico, we're nothing to them. Yeah, we lost because they lost because we got lucky on the goal, on the rebound. Keeper saved it the first time around, couldn't get it the second time. It happens. But if it wasn't for that goal, 0-0. If not, 1-0 for Bolivia. There's got to be changes. We can't keep going like this. It's not looking good It's not looking good for Mexican soccer right now. It hurts to say, man, but I'm tired of being a Mexican in soccer. It's been 4 exhausting years, and you guys can't get your crap together. Just when we think we're playing good, like we won last year's Copa Oro, you guys throw it out the window. I'm tired of being a Mexican in soccer. I renounced the Mexican national team. I want nothing to do with it anymore. I've lost passion for the sport because of them. I want nothing to do with them. Until I see actual changes happen, I'm done with them. I could care less whether they play or not. I'll watch the Copa America, but I won't root for Mexico. Not this time around. I'll watch it for the same reason I watch the Euro. Entertainment. But you won't see me with a Mexican jersey. I'm done. I'm tired of it. I've had enough. Until I see changes, I'm done. What does this mean for the channel? No more FIFA/PES videos. I do have some that have been cooked pre-cooked, aka recorded. So I'll edit those and pop those out. But as of now, when those videos go up, consider those the last soccer-related videos on the channel. I've lost passion for the sport. Mexico's just full of corruption, and it's devastating. It hurts, you know. I'm not saying every other country doesn't have corruption, but Mexico's just completely open about it. You can tell, man. All they care is about the money. So for my Mexican Americans that live on this side of the border, stop going to the games. Stop showing support. The only reason they come over here, they do tours in the U.S., they get paid in dollars. More money. On the Mexican side, it's not enough. People don't go to the stadiums. Why? Because Mexico's in a bad time. They've been in the bad. They've had a bad run at economically wise, right? English works. Spanish is worse. So stop going to the games. Stop watching them. We got to make changes happen. That's all I got for this one. I know it's been all over the place, but that's all I got for this one.